welcome back to the Advisory Table, our series of fireside chats with industry influencers and thought leaders. Today on the Advisory Table, I'm joined by founder and CEO of Almega Corporation, an entrepreneurial developer and investor who's built a diverse portfolio across real estate and other sectors. Please welcome today's guest, Basem Hanna. We'll jump right into it. So, listen, let's maybe just go right into sort of where we are in the market right now. With opportunities out there on relaxed development charges, municipalities that aren't as busy anymore on the approval side of things, do you feel a greater sense of urgency to get going right now and jump into this market with those opportunities as you would previously?
Yes, 1000% yes. I would say that this is probably the second time in my career that I've seen, I'd say, a massive downturn or collapse. The first one in 08, 09, which didn't really affect Canada. It affected the U.S., but we were operating in the U.S. at the time. I've never seen anything like this. I've been in real estate in Canada for over 15 years. I've never seen more properties come to market. I've never seen more construction crews hungry for business. I've never seen more cities or municipalities do more to try to get construction started. And I think it's a wave, right? So if we're at the crest of this wave, this is the time I want to be. I want to ride this wave as long as possible. So yes, absolutely. I'm trying to get as many deals.
So you feel that urge?
Oh,
yeah, because
I haven't seen anything like this in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I had Mark Skillum on. I don't know if you know Mark.
Yeah,
actually,
of course.
And he made a great point, which is that now, for example, it's not like laborers come down. The cost of labor. It's not like materials have come down. The cost of materials is the same, if not more. It's margins that have shrunk, right, on the construction side. And so I love the idea of taking advantage of that now, because as things get busy again, the margins will go back. Labor and materials already where it is.
Yeah.
So you got to strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah. But look, I think there's minimum margins you have to maintain for a bank to approve your financing. So I think, maybe
not on the developer side, not the margins on the developer side. I'm saying, almost speaking as a general contractor. Contractor saying, well, we have to shrink our margins now, right? I mean, labor's the same, materials are the same.
Yeah.
So what's shrinking? What? And so, but that
really,
that's not going to last forever.
No,
it lasts forever.
Well, they're trying to put their crews to.
You've got construction costs that are down. You've got municipalities ready to approve because there's not this huge backlog. You've got development charges by way of, we want to build, we want to incentivize people, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I see a huge amount of opportunity. We've spoken about this before, right? But I see that huge opportunity. So, I know developers like you, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I know developers like you are anxious to get out there and do something now.
I'll tell you, I think we're putting our money where our mouth is. We are probably one of the most active developers in purpose-built rental in the GTA right now. We have 309 units at Bathurst and Shepherd. We have another 300 units at Dundas in here, Ontario, and we are in the process of acquiring another site, which you know about, which will be another 150 units. And all of these are construction projects that have already started or will start before November of this year, of 2026.
And that's why I asked you the question.
Proof is in the pudding. I'm all in right now. Yeah.
I love that about Almega. You're one of the guys out there that's actually building in this market, and that's why I ask you the question, because really, at the end of the day, is there's so many the sky is falling and blah blah blah, and my philosophy is you got to look for where the opportunities are. There are opportunities out there, and you're a perfect example of a company that's seizing those opportunities for sure.
Look, I appreciate that, and but the credit goes to my team and the amazing people that we surround ourselves with. I just happen to get to talk on camera and take credit.
You mentioned purpose-built rental.
Yeah.
I think at one point you were probably looking at these projects as condo, like everybody would have been. Okay. Certainly in our market, big pivot from the condo boom that we saw for so many years into purpose-built rental. Can you talk to me about some of the challenges that exist in pivoting from condo to purpose-built rental?
So We only had to do that on one of our buildings, but it was a bit unique because we actually bought a 24 Shepherd to do purpose-built rental. That's always been our mandate, was to be a builder, owner, operator of purpose-built rentals for long term. But when we bought that in 2020 and interest rates started to rise, when we were starting to think about construction in 2022, we had to pivot to condo. And then when condo market blew up in 23, 24, we had to pivot back to rental. So I've done the full cycle. Look, I would say that we can all talk about the challenges, but let me talk maybe about some of the opportunities, because most of the people that hear this are sitting with condo sites that probably want to do a bit of rental work or just to get their projects moving.
Right.
Condo amenity, like the new rental stock that's coming in right now, the stuff that we're building and that others are like us are building, is very condo adjacent in terms of like the amenities that are being offered and like the way that the suites are laid out
with a lifestyle component to it, right? Fitzrovia's doing this. My last guest was Corey Shepard, and I was talking to him about sort of the cross section. Corey Shepard's the president of Freak, for example.
Right, yeah.
And I was trying to consider the cross-section between condo, purpose-built rental, and they do a lot of resort.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Think about it like this. When our product comes to market and there's condo product that comes to market, the renter is not going to know what title, they're not going to care if it's condo titled or rental or purpose-built rental. They're going to care about where they live and what's offered around it.
Right.
So it's a bit of a headache, but the cities are in their own endearing way. They are trying to make it faster. It doesn't always translate into speed, but they're trying. So there is an opportunity.
It certainly helps that they're not as backlogged as they once were.
No.
And I just don't see it last.
Back to another, like this is another reason why this is probably the best time to be in construction because there's nobody starting construction right now in 28, 29, 30, when that product is supposed to be there. There's not going to be any product. So you talk about a rental shortage right now while we have a supply glut. This is the most exciting real estate market I've been in a long time.
How many developers?
I know, man. I go to these industry events and it looks like we're at a funeral.
Yeah.
I'm like, business is actually okay right now. Like, knock on wood. So like,
that's amazing.
But it's a narrative too, right? Like if we all believe that, if we believe there's opportunities and we're back to fundamentals, we're buying things on cap rates. Like it's not like this craziness that we were in before. Like Canada's entire ecosystem is built off of like a core of real estate. Like it's not going anywhere. And
certainly
we have a job to do.
It's certainly here.
No, right? We have a job to do. Let's get moving.
Yeah.
Like, this is it.
So you talked about rates, up and down rates. We're starting to see rates come down at a much more manageable level. And obviously there's a lot of talk about that helping with not only the, capital, but raising capital, but also just the market in general.
Right.
So do you agree with that? And what are you hearing from investors as rates come down, or maybe not even what you're hearing from investors, but how do you feel about the investment? Let's call it milieu ecosystem as rates come down as it relates to our industry.
My investor take is that the people I talk to we're all former pre-con buyers. They are done. Like no one is touching pre-con from an investment perspective. If you want to buy pre-con, it's probably because you want to live in that building. But the benefits of owning or being an owner of Canadian real estate, especially like managed Canadian real estate, like so when we talk about purpose rentals, we're talking about professionally managed. We're talking about income producing versus like a cash flow deficit every month when you compare it to condos. When you start to show them like, hey, this is what the difference is, and now this is where this is the sweetheart of the real estate industry. Purpose-built rental is all the rage. If you can get a purpose-built rental project started, you are killing it. Investors have money. It is sitting there. It has been sitting there. They're just afraid to spend it until you show them the light, and the light comes by showing them proper returns and good due diligence, and then execution on projects. So the investor sentiment is definitely different in 25 than it was in 24. And I see it being more aggressive, like they will invest more money in 26.
Yeah.
Which is like a perfect storm of like the whole construction industry, real estate industry is begging for people to come invest, and these guys are ready to invest. So if we can push that together,
I love that.
I'm pro right now.
Well, it's refreshing to hear, notwithstanding some of the talk on the market right now.
Some people are really licking their wounds from investments they made in 2020 to 2024.
Yeah.
Which is causing people to rethink, reevaluate, and one's bitten, twice shy, right? Like if I just lost money, I'm maybe a little bit more careful, be a little bit more cautious as I start to deploy again.
5 to 10 year look ahead. What do you see in our market over the next 2, 5, and maybe 10 years? A little far out.
Yeah.
Let's go 2 to 5 years.
Within the next 2 years, I think the industry is going to reshuffle itself, and people that have taken advantage or are taking advantage of the opportunities right now will have outsized growth. I think that once the supply glut is cleared, the demand market, you're like, nothing's going to happen in 26 or not a lot, and then all of a sudden everybody's going to realize that 27 is going to be a crazy busy year for construction starts,
right? And
then it's a 5-year cycle. So by the time that those all get completed and leased up, you're going to start to see the market really bounce back over like 27, 28, 29, 30.
At the end of the day,
I hope.
There's so many success stories that you can look at, the great success stories that famous archetypal success stories that are just fraught with people who took advantage of a downtime.
Isn't that like
right? And
Warren Buffett's like cornerstone strategy,
right? So it's so exciting
when others are fearful.
That's it, right? It's exciting to see what you're doing. It's exciting to be a part of it.
Appreciate you being a part of it.
So much for doing this.
It's my pleasure.
I appreciate that.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks. Awesome.